Hi everybody, welcome to Built to be Seen.
For people ready to show up. I'm Toby.
And I'm Caz. Are you ready to be seen? Welcome back. So today we're going to be discussing the new rules of visibility in 2026. What's out and what is in?
So lots of changing going on.
Lots of
I was quite interested with some of these points that we've kind of put together that we're going to be touching on bits of AI, bits of how visuals are changing, how much of your personal self to be sharing and what to be sharing more of.
Yeah. I know, I was like...
But we'll start off with frequency.
Yeah.
And that actually, looking at the way the algorithms are favouring things at the moment, posting more is not necessarily better.
Yeah.
Which we've all just got our head round, need to be doing more, need to be doing more, need to be showing up all the time. But there is a balance as to how frequently is actually going to keep you in good circulation and keep pushing you in front of the right people versus overstepping that line and you're actually losing some engagement and interactions.
And diluting the message as well. So
Yeah.
it's all about being more intentional, I think, with what you're putting out. So I personally have noticed this. So over the when I first stepped onto the site, I'm just going to use LinkedIn as an example here. But when I first stepped onto LinkedIn a couple of years ago, it would favour when I posted more often.
Yeah.
Like, so I'd try and post most days, definitely midweek, you'd see my face popping up. But recently that has dipped a bit. And I'm like, interesting. But I've been speaking to other people who have got clearer messaging, but are also posting a bit less, but consistently. So 2-3 times a week with a consistent, I know every time their post pops up, that's them talking about that subject in some way, their own opinions in their own way again, but that subject. And they are seeing a better return at the moment. So it's really interesting because I think let's take the pressure off of trying to be absolutely everywhere. And let's instead think about what we're sharing and where.
I've got an experience that's kind of the reverse of that. I've probably spent less time on LinkedIn in the last 2 months than I have for the last 2 years. Just posting occasionally, and I've actually found people commenting and more engagement with those. Whether that is intentionally, subconsciously, that because I haven't posted in a while, I'm framing things slightly differently, or the messaging is more specific because I've sat down to get that odd post out. So it's landing differently with people, or whether it is just that actually it's been shown to more people for that reason. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think with yourself, you're really good. Like if I go on your profile and I just look at your profile, I know exactly what you do.
Yeah.
There's I'm not going on there and being like, what does Headshot Toby? I mean, the clue's in the name, first of all. What does Headshot Toby do? Not a clue, right?
Yeah.
So I know exactly what you do. So whenever I go on there again, I see you pop up, I'm expecting you to talk about that specific subject in some way.
Yeah.
But you do it, again, with your own opinions, in your own style, in your own way of doing it, which is really engaging to me. So I will instantly, it's not just because we do the podcast together, but I will instantly, you do some great videos and things, I'll click on them because I want to see, what's going on, what's the narrative, it's entertaining, even if I'm not wanting to buy at the minute or go and get photography done with you right now. I'm intrigued to see what you've created next with it.
So I'm kind of staying relevant in your sphere, even though at the moment it's not something you're looking for.
Yeah, but as soon as
the ideal, isn't it?
Yeah, as soon as I am then looking, you're the one I'm going to go to because you've been keeping me visually engaged and in your storytelling engaged for that long. But also the second, and there's a lot of photographers out there, and I know again we do the podcast together, so maybe there's an element of that in there, but the second anybody needs a photographer in Lincolnshire, you are the first person that I mentioned. And even people have asked in London, and I've been like, you could get Headshot Toby from Lincoln, he'd go down to London.
Down there.
Yeah, because I just know, I know I've seen you, you're top of my mind, you create amazing stuff for your own platform and your own channels. I know, and I've seen the stuff you do for clients. I know you will do them justice and really well. I'm like, you're the one that is needed. Go to Toby. like, this is the one you need.
That's really good to hear. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. You didn't pay me.
Yeah. She didn't say it's off air. It is interesting that though, that even if you've not worked with someone before, getting referrals through a connection that you've not necessarily done work for, but it is that building of the reputation that's achieved that is really interesting. Like, it's so powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I guess if we were to kind of do an action step for every point that we're going to share today, would we say, don't worry about how frequently you're posting. Don't think you have to be showing up every day with something new, and therefore the content you're sharing is diminishing in value. Think first about who is your audience, what is it right now that you need to share with them and tell them, and focus on that.
Get super clear. And schedule and get in advance those posts so they're going out regularly. Because again, someone sees you 2-3 times a week on LinkedIn as a platform. That is enough for you to get that consistency, and it's enough for you to not then burn out. So you're going to be doing it in the next 6 months. It's interesting that you said about like your experience with it as well, and how you've boosted things recently because of showing up less. I think an element of mine as well is because there's been the change with Quirk and Marketing Labs combining and stuff. So I've gone very much from just one specific message of personal branding to a bit of a mix of SEO and PPC and some other digital marketing in there as well. So it has diluted the messaging a bit as we've gone through this period of change. So again, my next month's content, I don't know when anyone will be listening to this, so if you go on and look at my month's content, that it might be a different month to we're on now. But if you go on at the right time, the specific time that I'm posting next month, you'll see I'm only doing less posts, and I have a specific focus now of Marketing Labs, digital marketing. And my first month has been showing the humans, because I still want to keep that human element in there, that personal branding side of stuff. But it is showing the humans behind Marketing Labs. It's kind of like almost my first series / bunch of posts that I'm doing. So again, my messaging over the next month will get a lot clearer. So I'll be intrigued to see how that kind of affects the stats as well. And I'm sure I'll share that in a future episode as well.
Absolutely.
So I think the next visibility in this is out. Definitely out is, and I've seen this a lot recently on my social media, AI shaming. I had to include it in this episode because it is peeing me off so much.
It's constant, isn't it?
It's constant.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So AI is a new tool that has come into play, right? And it's the future potentially of how the world's going, how technology is going. So in my view, I have started fiddling, playing, tweaking, learning, just exploring some AI tools. And I utilize them, and I do use them in my daily life as well as daily working life. And it is never perfect at first because it's a new tool. So I don't know what I'm doing with it. I am learning and I'm trying to get better at it. And I'm seeing where it's good and where it's not good. So there's experimentation in there as well. What I hate is the people going online at the moment that are like in the comments section or in their people's DMs that are like, don't use AI. Why are you using AI? And it's almost like this AI shaming.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of fear around AI and fears of job losses and will it replace me and all of this. So I get there's a lot of scared people out there, but I don't think we need to shame humans with the use of AI. I think there's enough shame as a human put upon us. We need to be encouraging and helping educate how to use it better, maybe.
I think we would be surprised how long we have had it integrated into what we do. And on a day-to-day basis, or around us at the supermarket, walking down the high street, places we go, where it's been implemented and has been for years that we just weren't aware of. It's only now that we can actually access it and use it that it feels shameful or laziness, or but actually, you're right. There are so many fantastic uses for it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have evolved as quickly as it has. So, I don't know why people want to bring people down. They are the same people that will probably comment on a video you've shared of yourself talking to camera and tell you that you're rubbish. You know, it's the people that kind of,
Yeah. So it's like back to be kind to people. Do you really need to leave that comment? And then also just move on if you don't like it.
So for those of you who don't know, Headshot Toby's studio is based here in Spark House in Lincoln. They offer flexible office spaces, business mentoring, and even have virtual offices if you're not quite ready for a full-time desk. As a sole trader and a photographer with lots of equipment, it was really important that I found somewhere that had space for me that was affordable, so that I had plenty of room to grow my business in a way that was scalable. And Spark House may just be the perfect solution too for you. Get in touch today by emailing sparkhouse@lincoln.ac.uk. And you'll also find that email address in the show notes below.
So I think we can, instead of like shaming with AI, we can kind of flip the narrative and say, okay, so if we're all having a play with it and we're all exploring it and we see something that isn't the best case use for it, how can we maybe within our area of expertise and our narrative that we're sharing, share better ways of using it? So like for me, through the digital marketing world and personal branding space, like there'll be ways that I'll be using it that I can then share with other people to enable them to maybe use it in that way too, once I've found what's worked and what's working really well. Like the same for yourself.
Yeah, definitely. There are parts of, you know, my process, certainly on the editing side, where there are certain implementation of AI things that do things better than I trained and learned to do, and my skill set still doesn't reach the standard of what it offers. There's still manual input. I still have control over how much it does things in terms of editing photos and things like that, but there's certainly an area there that has just bridged a gap for me, sort of thing. But I think, the sharing is really important. You know, tell people about tools you're using that you found useful. You know, don't hold it close to you and then just hope nobody will know it's AI and try and pass it off as your own, because that's where people do shame and think. And it's this podcast we wouldn't be at the point where we are now, recording episode whatever, if we hadn't implemented a tool that, you know, we put it into Premiere Pro and it cuts it all. It identifies you're that camera, I'm this camera, and when we speak, it chops it all and cuts between the cameras. That halved our production time. And this isn't a profit generating task. This publicity, this is visibility for us, is value sharing. So it makes sense to do that and save time there rather than me manually cutting between cameras. We talked about the shorts, you know, using tools like Opus Clip. We put our podcast episode into there, it generates all the shorts with subtitles, it tells us which it thinks is going to be, get the most engagement. I recently shared that I did a long form video for a client, about 30-40 minute interview, and also shared the Opus clips with them, which, you know, could have been a markup for me to have gone to provide some short versions of the video. It's going to cost this much, but actually it hasn't taken me any time to do. It's probably done it more efficiently than if I'd have done it anyway. So like everything, pros and cons, but it's how you use it, isn't it?
And how you then help others to use it in a good way as well, not just breaking them down. Because we're all trying our best out here, right? So we're all trying to do a million things, and if some tools can help us, hallelujah.
So that brings us on to our final point: virality, going viral, trying to chase what content is going to suddenly take off and get us millions of followers. That's less likely to happen now.
It's such a big focus and such like a phrase that's kind of bandied about. If you're in the marketing space, like anyone coming to you is chasing this. But I get it, because like with everything in business and life, like the more you can do, the more you can make, the more you can earn, the more numbers, we attach numbers to everything, don't we? So obviously then, like, the bigger a post gets, the more we're like, we've nailed this visual thing online. Like, we've nailed it because we've got millions and millions and millions. Well, that's great, but is what you have to offer, are you going to get anything back from that? Like, what do you want? What do you want, first of all? They was having a really good conversation about this yesterday in the marketing labs office, like asking clients, like, what do they want? Is it sales? Is it more leads? Is it more brand awareness? If it's brand awareness, then possibly getting larger numbers is a good thing. But again, only if what you're doing and offering is, I think about Links and Knots Air Ambulance, for example, when I think about this, because Links and Knots Air Ambulance, clues in the name, they are links and knots. And when they're going for more awareness, is it worth them going viral in America, viral in London?
Yeah.
No, because the people in London are going to be supporting the London Air Ambulance. So actually, their awareness, yes, needs to spread and be big, but it needs to be big in that geographical location. There was another company that I was talking to the other day. We do some of their SEO and their PPC ads for. So the Google ads and things, which is great, very specific, very targeted. We can get the exact people they're looking for based off of those things. But then they were like, again, how can we get our socials more buzzing and more on our socials? And I had to have this conversation with them where I was like, what you do when you create and you sell, they sell a physical product that they make. They can only make that, build that in the UK.
Right.
So again, yes, getting more reach in the UK is great, but do they need to be in Africa and America and Thailand? No, they don't, do they? They just need to be bigger in the UK. So you need to look at your audience and where they're kind of hanging out to know how big you need to get. And the other thing with virality as well is like the specific people that you want to talk to. So again, within this company can build this certain product in the space of the UK. That's a big range.
Yeah.
But this product is a specific product. So when I was talking to them, I was like, it's great that you want to do this and get bigger on Instagram, but someone like me will be watching your reel on Instagram because you're bigger and you've got more likes and more followers. So I see it. I don't have a house or a property big enough to put what you're selling in. So there's no point in targeting me with it either because it's wasted. So you've got all these eyes, but they're all the eyes that you don't need or want anyway. So yes, in some cases, bigger, viral, better is great, but not in all cases. And a lot of cases it isn't. More targeted again, more concise is better if you can. And again, looking at we talked about it in a different part of this episode, but like different, like just getting real clarity on who you're speaking to will help more than trying a trend for the sake of trying a trend to get bigger numbers.
And I sometimes find if you try and focus on what other people are doing, or focus on what seems to be getting engagement, or what advice on algorithms, to be successful with algorithms are suggesting, I might produce a video and then just go, but it doesn't sound like me now. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to hit these markers, but I haven't done it in my own way now. So it's sometimes it's a sacrifice of authenticity and how you might do things to try and fit a system that then you're just adding to the noise that's already out there, and actually just be an individual and just gaining organic followers of people that are buying into what you're talking about. Is of more value. The numbers won't be so high, but
it probably went viral and was a trend in the first place because it was novel. There was something novel about it, something that stopped us in our tracks from watching every other thing that was the same. So if you try and recreate that, it's already lost its novelty, hasn't it? So you're not going to be able to. It's potentially going to take you loads of time, which could be better focused somewhere else. Loads of resources that could be better focused somewhere else. As simple as the other day, I said to this company, I was like, well, so your posts are actually performing pretty well. The organic social media that they're getting out to the world is good and they're doing well. So keep doing that, but maybe reduce the frequency of it. So again, the 3 a week on certain platforms. I said, but then how about, you're trying to push this brand forward and get the awareness for it, but your personal LinkedIn profiles are empty. And we know that LinkedIn gets 550% more visibility on your personal profile than your business profile. So you're putting stuff on your business profile on there. You're putting stuff on your brand page on Instagram. You're doing all this branded stuff. But then your own one that would get naturally more visibility and more likes, more follows, more shares, all of it is dead. Absolutely dead. And you're getting nothing on it. And people would watch that more than they'd watch your business pages. Yeah. I did say the caveat as well to them that, like, don't just reshare the company stuff on your it's got to be personalised with personal opinions and stuff. Drip feed that in every now and again if there's a cool project that's on your normal feed that you could cross promote, but don't rely on that heavily. Because again, people are following you for you, not your brand page. People aren't following your brand page anyway. So if you turn your page into your brand page, people aren't going to follow that either.
It just becomes a mess, doesn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, stop chasing virality and get more intentional. We hope you've enjoyed this first episode of the Built to be Seen podcast. Used to be brand new if you're still searching that out there. Keep following along on our Instagram page, which will be soon to be changed to Built to be Seen, and ask us any questions about visibility online, being seen, getting out there. Ask us anything and we will endeavour to answer them all in the podcast as we go along.
Here's to branding.
We're not doing it.
See you next time.
See you next time.